don't really want to know what Chicago meatpacking really means. Anyway, welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, to Goonies World. I am, as always, Ryan, also known as Mean, joined by Colin, also known as Goonie.
Hey.
And Sean, also known as Johnny Farrow.
Hello, great to be back.
And Zach, also known as the good Dr. H.
That's me.
That is. And we are returning once again to the... I would say it's a dystopian future world of Jupiter Springs, but it's not like that bad. It's just...
if you don't mind being forced to work in a marshmallow fluff factory by aliens that have taken over the world.
Yeah.
And where you can't say anything bad about them.
Especially when you maybe were inadvertently the one back in your childhood that gave them the taste for marshmallow fluff in the first place.
That's true, but at least, they're not like going around and like killing people and stuff. But to be fair, if they did catch you doing the things that you are currently engaged in doing, it probably would not go well.
You disappear, just
so maybe
like Mr. Havershaft.
Yeah.
That's right. Someday we'll have to find out what happened to Mr. Havershaft.
Yeah, he got...
maybe the Resistance maneuvered him out of the way.
Like, our people could have done that. I don't know.
Yeah, that may, in fact, be exactly what happened.
He might be one of the time-traveling vampires.
And he's like, I'm out.
He was in hiding, and then they saw an opportunity to pull him out to bring in more for the Resistance. And,
I
throwing it out there.
It's good. That's good. I like that. I like that a lot. So, having spent the night, I believe, in what was once Plunger's grandmother's detached garage, the headquarters of Laser Man and the Ninja and I can never remember Plunger's
Avenging Condor.
Yes. Of course.
Some people would say it has too many syllables, but I chose the best words available.
You could just shorten it to Condor for brevity.
Well, anyone
I said he should have been called Condor Man.
No, that was taken by a obscure but somewhat underrated film. Nevertheless. No, clearly when one looks at me, the first two words that would pop into anyone's mind would be Avenging Condor. Therefore, I go with that.
It's fair enough.
Yes.
So you spend the night, sleeping bags and on the couch of what was once your grandmother's
just like old times.
Detached garage. And Boomer, as ever, wakes up bright and early.
Yes.
In fact, so early it's not bright yet.
I said, no, before the sun rises. I am the cock that crows.
Does he crow?
I gotta go get the early bird that gets the worms, right? That's what they say. That's what you youngins say these days.
I don't think that's what the
One of those hip phrases. Yes.
I know. I saw it on a Nickelodeon when I was a kid.
So, and not the TV channel, because there probably wasn't TV.
No, it was literally a Nickelodeon.
Yes, I was going to say, it's literally
All right, well, so Boomer wakes up nice and early, around 4:30. Is he then going to immediately get the other guys up, or is he going to let them snooze for a bit?
So our timeline is that our train is leaving at 9:30, and we need to go buy Spivey's first, right? Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
He would probably... I'm trying to think if there's any value in him like digging through any of the stuff. Or trying to find a little bit more information about that. This is Plunger's. This is where Plunger lived.
Yeah.
Well, you find some old pudding cups.
Not
from the
saying
pudding factory.
I don't know if there would be any sort of reconnaissance information that he could obtain here about Plunger. That might, I don't know. Always good to have an ace ace up your sleeve in case you need something, in case things go south.
Well, I'll tell you, there's $37 and some copies of Swank magazine that Plunger stashed away in this place somewhere. I won't tell you where. But
it's probably actually dollars and not loose change, though. So
that's probably true.
Yeah.
Most of it. I don't know. Plunger. They did have, all kinds of walkie-talkies and stuff like that. But
Yeah, though there should be walkie-talkies.
Well, there's my. Of course, he also had 2 computers. He had the TRS-80 and the Commodore
64.
Yeah,
was it? Yep.
and he was on all the BBSs, all the conspiracy BBSs.
Right. I'd figure he might be the kind of child that would create a lot of codes or something, perhaps.
Of course.
And write in maybe like notebooks that have codes or code breaking or just different things like that.
Well, I do have quite a long list of various passwords and keywords to former conspiracy-related bulletin boards and so on and so forth. And of course, the ultra-secret code that Dickey and I invented in what would have been the early 80s was, of course, committed totally to memory, unfortunately. But we might need to use it again. Unfortunately, if you haven't been to Owl Camp, you would not be able to follow the code because it had to do with...
It is based on L calls.
That's right.
I don't know. Boomer's a pretty smart guy. I don't know. I'm not sure if he's, specifically like a lot of avian knowledge, but
But is he an owl talker? That's what we want to know.
Right. If anything goes south, and if we end up in a not on the same side kind of situation, and if there's any amount of crazy rambling conspiracy talk, notebooks and stuff,
That's
that
more
could be-
likely. Oh, wait a minute. He had a notebook.
He did have a notebook.
He wouldn't have it now. He would have hidden it. He would have hidden it here. I know he would have. So yeah, totally. He had a big conspiracy notebook with like scrapbook with. You're gonna find Tracy in there because she's in there.
Profile on her.
Profile on Tracy, and he definitely has.
I mean, Boomer's the kind of guy who wouldn't mind having a little insurance.
That would be like the best insurance. There actually is a crazy conspiracy notebook.
So yeah, you do indeed find Plunger's conspiracy notebook, and flipping through it before the guys wake up, you see that he's already apparently knew Tracy or at least met her.
Right.
When they were kids.
Yeah, and this is information Boomer wouldn't have anyway, right? So
it says next to her picture, it's like Egyptian Daywalker ? Right. Underline. Chip must be warned. Chip in danger.
I'm surprised he doesn't have a huge billboard with little yarn connecting the little pictures of Bigfoot and aliens and all that. Conspiracy board, I think it's called.
Yeah. Well, the severe A-frame of the upper story of the bulletin board that we had, it wouldn't fit right. It was really frustrating. Yeah. So, yeah.
There's probably some schematics in there about pyramids made out of straws, the early works that led to that breakthrough and discovery.
Oh, yeah.
And all sorts of stuff about the various powers of different geometric shapes and things like that.
Oh, yeah, as much research on sacred geometry. And also underwater archaeology, although I don't think that's in pyramid territory. Plunger's interested in some things that are very real. And
then he wants to believe in all the things that may or may not be.
You find the evidence of a brilliant but totally home-educated child.
Yeah.
Well,
I might. I'll grab some of that and put it in one of the big pockets of my windbreaker, and just in case that could come useful at some point.
It would definitely. It definitely has huge value to Plunger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Never know how this is going to go.
Never do.
Of course, the government would also love to get their hands on that information.
Some interested parties, yes, for sure.
The hard to convince Plunger that interested parties wanted to. He's worse than Philip K. Dick. Right.
So yeah, after that, probably a goal accomplished, and just hey, you lazy young whippersnapper, get up! It's time to go. Jeez, it's just the generation just never. How they're terrible. Never work.
Takes it, for a second. Plunger has a weird Philip K. Dick moment where just for a second while he's waking up, he's not sure whether he's a 12-year-old dreaming that he's 40-some-odd-year-old, or whether he's 40-some-year-old dreaming that he's a little kid in his old house. And then he remembers what day it is and what they're going to do, and wakes up with a newfound sense of hope. and slaps
I don't
Dickey
have
till he
any
gets
of
up.
those problems. I know exactly who I am when I get up.
Do some touch up on the scar.
Right.
Captain
I
Morningwood,
look in the
apparently.
mirror and I know I'm a killer.
That's right.
What did you say?
Oh, nothing.
Put the
He is wearing very tight leather pants. That's true. you can hide nothing, sir.
So, so what time is it that you get them up approximately?
I
you
don't know,
would say?
5:30, whatever it is. Early enough that we would have time to do everything we need to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and Spivey did say that he was going to be working all through the night on it. It was 7, 8 or whatever when you were over there, so he may very well be done already.
Right.
Well, let's go. Hey, wait, before we go, I'm going to spend a save and grab our old set of walkie-talkies, chips too, which just so happen to have fresh batteries. Because maybe they're like so old and stuff now that they won't be able to listen in if we get separated. And just because I want to have them again.
The battery situation is like since you're spending a save, I will.
They were
allow
Energizer.
You.
They were Energizer batteries. So, as we all know from 80s commercials.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I think it's unlikely in reality they'd last that long, but I'm willing to let it slide because it would be. I mean, you could go out and get batteries, but I mean, we'll just say spend a save point. It's fine. They have batteries working.
Well, I'd perfected the battery refrigerator. A lot of people don't know about this, but whether that really is why the batteries work or not is immaterial. But I think Plunger did have a mini fridge set up with some extra power unit to it and coolant, and thinking he could prolong battery life.
All right, so you have 3 functional walkie-talkies, which I assume you distribute.
Yes, and watch, we'll never need them.
Hey, you never know.
Find out.
I'm going to run away from you guys on purpose just so I can.
I spent a save point on this, damn it.
Yeah, that's right.
It's too bad they don't have multiple channels. They might be monitoring this.
Do they have multiple channels? They could.
Yeah, Channel 9 was our old channel.
I was thinking of like the real basic kid, but he might have a more advanced.
No, he had a decent one.
Yeah,
It was like his dad's or something.
because they do have like they're basically like CB radios. You can pick up all kinds of channels and chatter.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, it was the aliens. These probably aren't the same ones you had when you were like in the first couple games, because it would be a few years on. You might get some better ones, working part-time at Pale Dales or something, and pick up some slightly nicer, more high advanced, walkie-talkies or whatever. Who knows?
Right.
But yeah, they could totally have multiple channels.
All right, set for channel. What was it? 9.
Same one we used to use.
Yes,
They'll
that's
never
right.
expect us to go right back to the same one. Only an idiot would do that.
What is the bullet situation with the guns, by the way?
It's just completely abstract.
Okay.
Just shoot.
Never.
Don't have to reload. Don't count your bullets. It doesn't
All right.
matter.
All right.
Cinematic.
Yeah. Exactly. Cinematic. Where I mean, like in the movies where they literally don't. They shoot like 400 times and don't even fucking reload.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a short walk to Spivey's. And
Is there any? What, generally speaking, is there a lot of people out? I mean, like this is a future where there are less people generally. Right?
generally, yes, that's true.
So probably not.
And it's a crappy old rundown neighborhood.
Yeah.
And very few people are up this early.
Right.
So at this time of day,
Well, now that we have some notoriety, and there is the possibility that people could actually be actively seeking our whereabouts.
This is true.
Yeah.
Let's make haste.
Yeah.
all right. Well, and of course, like the factories and stuff, like the people in the barracks wake up until like 6, so you've got some time before
Right.
But of course, the train doesn't leave till 9:30.
9:30, right.
So, but yeah, you walk over to make the short walk over to Spivey's house, and Spivey is clearly quite pleased with himself and happy to see you. He holds up holds out 3 Las Vegas passes.
Nice.
Yeah, here you go. These should serve you very well, and should raise no suspicion at all, I would think.
No, your reputation is well deserved, my friend.
These look exquisite. Your workmanship is unparalleled, it would appear.
Thank you. I've been at it for a very long time.
I imagine you like holding the the card like way.
That's. I was curious. What kind of resources would you have available for us in terms of disguise?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't typically work in that arena. Did you have anything in particular in mind?
Well, especially not as much myself, but these 2 gentlemen are probably. I'm not saying the Fuzz is going to be after them shortly, but they might be noticed that their absence, and that someone might come looking for them at some point. And
We're wanted, dead or alive.
right.
That's right.
And they're not currently outfitted in the most inconspicuous manner. So
I see. I do see what you mean. Well, I mean, let me see. Let me look around my closet and see what I got.
There's not much I can do with his hair,
Unfortunately, there's not much I can do with this nasty scar either that I got from killing aliens.
Yeah, was it 12 aliens you killed, I think?
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, technically it was 12, yes.
So he comes back with a couple different options of sunglasses and a slightly ridiculous long black wig. It almost looks like Tracy's hair, except messier.
what is it in that regard? What is Spivey? Dark hair, pale skin.
At this point, Spivey's bald.
Yeah, he had a comb over in the
old.
80s. So,
that's right,
yeah.
he's old, okay. So we have no concerns about him potentially being a vampire at this point.
He doesn't.
He's showing none of the telltale
Just looks like an
signs.
old dude. Not as old as, I don't think, Boomer, but
Right.
pretty old.
Okay.
Clearly, despite your vast experience, you have a lot to learn about spotting vampires.
Well, this vampire thing is new to me.
Don't
So
worry.
I have a lot of. I'm not a fan of these aliens either, and
Aliens first, then vampire hunting.
Yes, that is correct.
The vampires responsible for all sorts of great hit tunes throughout the years.
But not by their original writers.
Well, they appear all over Fluff Jams. Like volumes 5 through 10 are pretty much just vampire contributed material.
I mean, if you wanted to hunt them down for Frank, Williams Jr., I'm sure he would be appreciative, but it may not be. Maybe he's just a crazy old dude from Tennessee. Who knows?
Maybe.
Anyway, so you get your he like I said, he gives you a couple different options of sunglasses that you could wear to at least attempt a sort of disguise. And he has
already
this
got
wig.
my clip-ons on.
Yeah, that's true. Plunger could try to cover the his hair up with the wig.
Yeah, I'm gonna put on the wig, and it'll still be poofy, but it's gonna fool nobody. But Plunger's convinced it looks pretty good, and put the sunglasses on.
I mean,
And,
it's enough that first glance won't be immediately recognizable.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that's
good.
That's good enough.
Yeah, that's good enough.
For some situations anyway. So
I wouldn't want anyone to think I was a vampire.
Do you have any motorcycle helmets?
As a matter of fact, I just might, and I should be making you spend save points for this shit, but Spivey's a nice guy, and he did at one point ride a motorcycle. So, yeah, he offers you a motorcycle helmet. Although it's like one of those little metal ones with like a spike on it.
Really wasn't what I was
That's really inconspicuous.
picturing.
Yeah. But it matches the general attire that he's
That's true.
on, so.
Yeah, it doesn't cover my face, but it might confuse some people.
And it gives you a spike on top of your head, and you never know when that's going to be helpful.
It's true. You just bum rush somebody right in the.
It'd be more helpful for Mr. Tai Chi over here, but I don't think we're going to get that on top of the wig on top of the juke.
Yeah. So the helmet like that, you go like back before. You're not even Nazi bikers. You're like even older school. You're like the Kaiser's
Right,
bikers.
yeah.
You know,
Kaiser
Imperial Kaiser bikers.
Prussian Empire, kind of stuff.
That's right.
Yep.
All right. Well, with your, the newly acquired passes to Las Vegas and your attempts at a disguise, or at disguises, you are basically finished. It's Spivey's, I suppose, and he wishes you good luck on whatever crazy mission you're doing for Tracy.
Well, whatever. If we're successful, you're going to be very happy.
It's not for Tracy.
Or dead.
And it's not for Tracy.
It's for the whole world.
Sounds interesting, he says, but will not knows better than to ask too many questions.
And that's good, because we probably just tell him all about it.
And fucking vampires. I don't know. You've got a couple hours before you need to catch the train.
Yeah, we'll just go wait. We'll fast forward to train.
Yeah.
All right.
We can go wait in the house or whatever. I mean, there's...
Yeah, waiting at the train station wouldn't be the greatest idea.
Right.
It's easier to be spotted there.
I'll go do my Tai Chi in the garage.
Of course. Good deal. So you wait in the house for a while and then head to the train station to catch the 9:30 to Las Vegas. And because you didn't show up for work this morning, again, your notoriety goes up by 1 more.
Now, are we aware of this? Do we have like some
No,
monitor or something?
but you just assume, and it could be even higher than that, and you don't know, but you know that not showing up is, something that's going to catch attention.
All right.
So it should be like 4 at this
4,
point?
yep.
Yeah, I have 4.
And it might in reality be higher, but you wouldn't know that necessarily yet. But you show up at the train station to catch the 9:30, and I will make a quick roll. Ooh. And as you're getting on the train, are you wearing the motorcycle helmet?
Yes.
As you're attempting to get on the train, the guy who, is asking to see your passes kind of takes a look specifically at you because this helmet makes you so conspicuous.
He's a reenactor.
And he says, "Hey, you got your identification there, buddy?"
Of course. Now, do I have identification at all?
Yes.
But it says...
It says your name and where you live and stuff.
Of course.
You hand it over.
Wait. I can't find it. That's strange. Somebody stole it. There's a thief on the loose. You're gonna have to go catch him. Hurry!
I'm not sure what that would be. Let's call that a guts roll.
I'm ready with a karate chop to the back of his neck.
Got it.
All right. Well, I mean, you don't succeed in getting him to like run off and look
No,
for some
I know.
thief, but you do succeed in getting him to just think maybe you're not who he thought you were. But he says, you better take off that stupid ass helmet.
Excuse me.
We're on the way to Vegas. He got a little excited. Just high spirits, that's all.
Yeah.
This is,
Thank you very much for your flexibility.
I'm special needs. I need this helmet.
We're going to an auto show, and this is a historic relic of motorcycle history. And
Yeah.
I don't see the problem.
Well, it just seemed like it might be a bit of a safety hazard, but if you want to wear the damn thing, man, whatever.
The only person he could hurt would be himself, believe me.
It makes me look so cool.
Does it, though? Does it, though?
You say as you board the train without being further impeded. And the doors close, and you are whisked off in the direction of Las Vegas. Now, it is a long way to Las Vegas. From Jupiter Springs.
Plenty of ways to kill time.
Or kill something. Aliens, vampires.
Cameron.
Yeah. I recommend we all get as much rest as we can.
Yep.
You never know what the next several hours will bring once we arrive. Well, they will bring a drive, but you know what I mean.
And several hours later, there's not much to do on the train, unfortunately.
No.
Read a book, wait, look out the window. And looking out the window is a good option because, the scenery's nice. You're going through the mountains and then through sort of the Central Valley and then into sort of a desert area with mountains, sort of, so it's pretty anyway. But after some hours, you can see the skyline of Vegas. Stratosphere is very prominent, of course, and all the other large hotels in the area. And the train station is where McCarran Airport used to be, so it's pretty close to all that stuff. And you exit the train station and make perception.
Hope I do not notice.
Nope.
I got a 1.
So, was it just Dickey that succeeded?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. Well, oblivious to this because you just are habitually ignoring these things. But Dickey happens to look up at one of these, televisions displaying the news channel. And this guy's talking, and there's the chyron going underneath. But then a picture of your face appears next to this guy's head, and then a picture
Holy shit.
of MG, and then a picture of Boomer, of a younger Boomer, actually. So it's not necessarily quite accurate, but it's
Headshot from my modeling days. Yeah.
perhaps the only picture they could find on such short notice. But unfortunately, this pushes your notoriety up another point.
Oh, no. Good thing we got that wig.
That's right. No one will ever notice.
I think I'm gonna maybe take off.
So you're taking the helmet off, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Kaiser Wilhelm.
All right. So you leave the airport. Now, there are automated transport vehicles here, kind of at what would have at one time been a like a taxi stand sort of thing, but there's like a line of these little like electric automated vehicles, and you just get in and you can like tell it where you're going. Any of the like casino resort hotels or whatever, and it will just take you there. Of course, you don't have like a reservation at any of those places, although you could just pick one at random and go there if you were so inclined.
Well, we know that we know the Pale Riders are big in this area, so we should go to the bar where they hang out and steal some of their motorcycles.
Yeah, so we know where we're headed, but we don't have any sort of lead on how we're getting there yet.
Not really.
They kind of told us that we were on our own, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have a way. The Resistance didn't have a particular way for you to get there.
Right.
I'm going to say into the train thing and say, Area 51.
Unknown destination. Please select a destination from the following list. And a list appears on a little screen of all like the resorts. You got New York, and
Luxor.
all right.
Is that the pyramid one?
Yes.
Might as well.
Might as well. Okay,
Yeah.
Stay
there
with
you
the
go.
pyramid.
Oh, yeah.
And it's on that end of the strip, very close to where McCarran Airport used
Yes,
to
it
be.
is on the
so-
south.
Well, there we
That's
go.
true. So it is a quick drive to the Luxor in this automated vehicle, which, by the way, are free. So you don't have to, scan your bracelet or bust out a bag of coins or whatever. And the automated vehicle pulls up outside the Luxor and says, "Thank you. Have a lovely day."
Now let's start looking for some transportation, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Well, now, I will say that it's not a bad idea to try to find some Pale Riders with motorcycles. And,
In a sidecar for the old man.
Right.
that's not necessarily a bad idea. It might be difficult. Motorcycles are vastly more likely to be found than a car. I can... much more fuel efficient, don't require, gas, which is not in great supply, so for that reason, they're much more likely to
Let's look
to be around.
Let's look for a car that just arrived here. Someone who's going to be staying for a couple days might not go to their car, might not notice for a couple days. Let's steal one of those cars. Nice family car, nothing flashy.
Well, that's going to be not a lot. Very few people drive vehicles, and those that do are generally, drive cars. Bikes are more
That's true,
common.
I forgot that.
Right. I think, given our notoriety, it might be a good idea to get off the strip as fast as we can.
Probably
That's
not
true.
a terrible idea, and it might be possible. I should also point out, just to hack one of these fucking automated cars and make it take you wherever you want.
That sounds like a much better idea. In fact, let's not get out quite yet. Now, I don't know if anyone else possesses elite hacking skills.
I'm a very, very smart,
I'm just going to stop you right there.
very intelligent man, but I'm not so good with the technology, so I'm not
Okay,
me.
yeah. I can believe it.
Well, I have spent quite a bit of time in my youth doing it, but of course, times are different now, technology is different, but I imagine it's all the same basic underlying principles. Well, let me see if I can just crack into this thing and see, how would I do that? I'll start messing with it and see if I can see if that's even a possibility.
Make an intelligence roll.
Yeah, all right. Give me a second here, fellas. Should be okay. Yes, makes sense. And that one goes over here. Oh well, yes, makes pretty good sense to me. I rolled a 2.
Oh,
My intelligence is 8.
wow. That's a pretty good margin of success.
So if my calculations are correct,
So, what this thing has, you realize, is a map, and it's mostly on the strip, it's almost exclusively the strip that you can sort of pick destinations from, but you're able to manipulate it in such a way that and get sort of beyond some safeguards and actually zoom out a ways, and you think you can find. Yeah, you think you can basically make it go wherever you want.
well, I know exactly where we need to go. And I know exactly where it is on the map, too.
Well, I'm sure Plunger does.
Yes.
I know where it is, too.
Do we have any sense
Groom
on
Lake.
how? So these are electric vehicles, right?
They are.
Do we have any sense on how long of a trip they can make? Or?
Not really.
Hopefully they're solar powered.
Because, well, the sun's going down pretty soon anyway.
Oh, shit.
It's like, as I said, it was a long train ride. Well, it wouldn't be that long. It's probably only like mid-afternoon. So no, you probably got some time. But they do have solar panels on the top. But there's no battery indication, because what they do is when they need, if they are off solar for long enough and the battery goes down, they just automatically go to a charging station, charge up, and then come back out. So so there's no need for there to be a charge indicator or whatever. But you are able to plot a route to Rachel, Nevada. But you can't make it go. It doesn't seem to think there are any roads to the actual facility. And you can see on the map, there's this highway that runs through Rachel, and you can kind of see the line where the road to the facility comes off of this highway, but it doesn't look like an actual road and you can't select it or make the thing
We
go
can't
on it.
make a new road, on
we'll-
the map.
We'll get as close as we can.
Yeah.
And as you do that, another one of these things pulls up behind you, and just as you select your destination and start heading in that direction, someone gets out of a vehicle, one of these automated vehicles that has pulled up behind you, and you immediately take off at that point because you've selected Rachel as your destination. And this person pulls out a little device and speaks into it,
Oh, great.
and then puts it back into a pocket and gets back into
Some sort of agent.
the little vehicle.
Potentially been spotted. It could, of course, be the resistance from the underground, keeping a tab on us, but let's not assume that.
Yeah, I think this is police or some alien.
Informant.
Yeah,
Well, there's nothing we could do now but to keep going.
we'll lose them in the desert. They won't find us.
Well, and fortunately for you, you don't. I mean, you don't know whether or not this guy's vehicle has the same limitations as yours did until recently. But what you do know is that as you're pulling back out onto Las Vegas Boulevard, and I'm not sure exactly what route it would have planned, but either way, you have to get on the strip eventually. This guy gets back into his little automated vehicle and starts following you. But as soon as you get off the strip, he doesn't seem to be able to follow you anymore.
Right.
At
We
least,
outwitted him.
at least for the moment. And
Let's put this thing at max speed and get going.
yeah, and max speed is unfortunately only about 45 miles an hour, so it's going to take a good couple hours to get to Rachel in this thing.
Did I ever tell you guys about some of my Highlander, the TV series fan fiction?
I don't understand any of those words.
So, one thing you could do during this fairly long journey is attempt to do a little more hacking of this thing and make a route to the Area 51 facility where none currently, where the sort of GPS or whatever thing can't currently.
I've been thinking about what you said, Dickey. Can we make a road? I think that could be
Yes.
possible. Let me take a look at this.
Fool
thing.
the computer into thinking there's a road there by creating road and naming it.
That's right. Bringing their dark secret into reality. And, well, I got an 8, and my intelligence is 8, so I have barely succeeded in my role, whatever the consequences of that are.
The consequences of that are that you do succeed, but there will be some sort of complication, which is not immediately apparent.
Well, we'll find out then. It's worked great, you guys.
So-
you seem to know your way around the thingamajabbers there. That's impressive.
Yes, well, I had a lonely childhood. Dickey was my only friend until Chip came along, and then...
You seem like a kid who'd have a lot of thoughts about a lot of different things as a youth then, right?
I was an obsessive journal keeper.
He was never afraid to tell you about them all.
Well, I like to let the truth come out, that's for sure.
So, strangely, just as the glow of Las Vegas is left behind you to the south, make perception rolls.
No.
Yes.
So, fortunately, some of you do indeed notice that the glow stops.
The glow of Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Did they just turn off Las Vegas? Save on power?
I don't know. I didn't notice anything. What?
Well, Las Vegas, the lights, they just seem to go away.
Maybe there's a ridge or something?
Are you saying we passed into
I mean, it was there.
alternate dimension?
It was, maybe, but it was there, and the lights were on, and now they're just not.
I think those aliens are just penny pushers, and they've been instructed to turn off Las Vegas at night and keep down the power and...
You can get much more power to the marshmallow fluff factories that way.
Well, that's
yeah.
true.
Yeah, they need all they can get.
They probably have just destroyed the dam that powers, the city.
Well, do you want to know bad enough to reprogram this thing and turn it around and
There's
go
no
back?
turning back now.
And I say we just have to focus on one mystery at a time then.
There could have been an EMP bomb.
For all we know, they've shut the entire system down looking for us. We're trying to shut down power to our vehicle for all we know.
Trying to hunt us down in the dark.
Like animals in the dark.
Yeah.
So eventually, you get to Rachel, where there is clearly also no power. And you get to
easier to get in at the base.
to the location where
Oh, trust me,
the
they'll
little
have power.
sort of dirt road comes off the highway, where you have successfully managed to program this thing to go. And it does turn there and begin going, which, much to the consternation of the people standing there waiting for you, with their little automatic, electric vehicles, and you just blow through their little checkpoint, and that you see them scrambling to get in to these little vehicles. Maybe Rachel has some as well, tourists from the little alien and the tourist sites around here and stuff, take people back and forth. But pretty soon you've left them in the dust, gone around the side of a mountain, and you don't see them anymore. Oops. What's your notoriety? 5?
5, man.
5.
Just roll a 6. Too bad for me. Anyway, so it's quite a while on this sort of dirt road, which goes around this big ass ridge, and over the area of near the dry lake bed, and you see the facility here ahead of you. And
I always knew it was here.
the vehicle stops about 500 yards short of where you told it to go.
But it still says it reached its destination.
No, actually, it just runs out of power completely.
You know what? That was a fine little machine.
That's right.
And not a bad hacking job by yours truly, if I do say so myself. Right on target.
So you guys get out and begin walking towards... And there's several buildings. You don't know exactly necessarily which one you're going to, but perhaps they're expecting you.
I think most of it's underground.
Oh, I don't doubt that at all.
And make some perception rolls, would you?
Nope.
Got it. I perceived something.
And you see some lights in the sky above you that at first look like stars, but they're moving. And they seem to be getting bigger.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
I see what could be. If you look right up there, you'll see some lights. You might have to squint.
Yeah, those are stars. I would assume you know that by now.
No, these are...
They look like they are incoming, and we cannot assume they are friendly. They could have easily deduced our destination.
We've got to get underground.
We've got to run for the...
Oh, no.
I'm gonna lift up the old man and pick him up, hoist him up onto my back, and run for the facility.
Okay. So you guys start running for the facility, and you see, as you do this, a guy in a lab coat step out of one of the buildings and start waving you in.
Okay.
Come on, we gotta get you downstairs! We gotta get you downstairs! He says, as
This is a very well-organized resistance movement. I'd like to give them
red beams of energy begin
Go!
firing out of the sky, and one of them lands right at your feet, MG.
Oh, movie star jump.
And one lands right at your feet as well, but fortunately are not hit. I mean, they're far enough away that they're a little bit of a penalty for the moment.
I'm immune to lasers anyway.
Well, Laser Man, I get the
Run faster! Run faster! Let's go!
Let's not test that out now. Yeah, we'll just dive for that door.
All right, so the guy, you guys dive for the door as these things, and you don't know how long it's going to take him to get down here, but he ushers you into this elevator, this large elevator that looks like it could take a fucking jet, like a fighter jet, like up and down.
And probably has.
And you get on it, and
with other things.
it starts descending down pretty far. And he says, "What the hell happened? They cut the power. We're on backup."
Yes, we noticed that as well.
Yes, they cut Las Vegas as well.
We think it's our fault. We were spotted in Vegas.
We're America's most wanted.
That's right.
Fucking aliens! God damn it! He says.
Well, we're hopefully here to do something about that.
Yeah, I know why you're here, but with the power situation like this, we've only got enough in the capacitors to send one. I mean, we can send the rest later, maybe, when the power comes back, if it comes back. We only have enough to send one, so you're gonna have to decide.
I was hoping to...
Giving us a Sophie's choice, my friend.
Yeah. Well, it probably won't be the old man, because...
Well, but I'm the one that needs to talk to your younger whippersnappers.
Well, that's true. I just am very worried about your physical capabilities.
I'm very physically fit for my age, thank you.
Listen, I think we have to face the very real possibility that...
And he's lived his life more than we have. If he disappears on,
whoever gets left behind here
And you hear an explosion up above.
is going to be captured or dead. So whoever goes better damn well succeed in whatever... I think the person with the best chance of success, it's clear to me, is me.
Of course you think that.
Well, Dick, here's what I think. There's only one human being in the universe that could get through to a young plunger, and that is an old plunger.
Yeah, well, I've got...
You're not worried about the space-time continuum stuff?
I'm willing to take that risk. But I hesitate to say this. I don't want to volunteer myself for escape into the 1980s while my friends stay here to die, so I think we must draw straws, then. It's the only fair way, although I do clearly have the best chance of success, being the smartest.
I've been waiting for this. I'm not going to let it just go to you or to some old man. I'm the hero of this story. So, yeah, if you want to draw.
Well, here's what we do, yes.
You hear another explosion.
We're going to have to let fate
shudders
decide.
To a stop. And the guy says, well, I don't know how you're going to decide this. I will tell you one thing. The least likely to survive the process is probably the old guy.
Well, he's played his role. He's played his part. You are the John the Baptist in our story of redemption, old man.
And remember, it's possible we could send the other two out later, but I'm not even sure. As another explosion rocks the
I don't
facility.
think there's going to be a later.
There might not be. We're pretty deep down here, though. It's going to take him a while to blast all the way down here.
So I think at this point, Boomer's going to reach into his pocket, and he's going to pull out the thing. So he'll pull out his, old snub-nosed pistol kind of deal. He's like, all right, this is what's going to go down here right now. You're going to take me down to this thing. You're going to send me back in time, and I'm going to save the world. And none of yous is going to get in my way. Or else you're going to meet my old Russian friend here.
Well.
So,
You've been planning this the whole time.
played like a couple of saps.
I mean, we're all here for the same mission. I'm just the one who's going to be the one to do it.
What if you don't survive, old man? You
What
could
if-
be dooming us all.
What if you didn't survive? I've got
I'm the
decades and decades of the highest military training that our great country had to offer.
The scientist just said you'll never survive it.
said
He said you'll
least
be
likely.
least likely to survive it.
So, and the guy in the lab coat has walked over to this device that looks sort of like a cryo sleep chamber or something, and he throws it open. It's got all these sci-fi widgets and Tesla coils and shit on it or whatever. It's very, very sci-fi looking, with like little alien bits worked into it. And he says, I don't care who's going, but somebody's got to go.
Well, it looks like he's made his choice.
You stay back now. I don't want to have to do anything that you're going to regret. Hold on, I can figure that out. That's on page 12.
I'm asking him in Al code. Do you think you can get to? Can you get the gun? Can you get it, Dickey?
I mean, you guys have a gun, right?
Yeah, you both have guns.
True.
But
And I'm just gonna say, without even going into code, I'm gonna say, but maybe he's the one. Maybe this was how it was supposed to go down the whole time.
then that means for me and you, it's the end.
Yes, well, the end of this timeline.
Maybe.
And you hear another huge explosion, and the rocks the whole fucking place. Make a reflexes roll or drop your gun.
Oh, no. I hit it exactly.
All right, so you do not drop your gun, but the scientist guy just steps forward and grabs Plunger and starts dragging him towards the thing. He's like, "Come on, we don't got time for this shit."
Wait, And
I don't want to have to kill you, boy.
I was about to let the old man go too, but no, I'll let the guy drag me. Kind of really wants to go anyway.
Well, you were just the closest, but
Yeah.
so you mean you could try to shoot this guy to stop him from throwing Plunger in the little. I mean, it's like upright. It's not like he's going
Right.
to lift you up or anything, but he's going to push you into it in the next couple seconds if nobody does anything about it.
I don't imagine that I'm going to shoot someone who's on the same side as I am.
Just threaten them. Fair enough. All right. Well, with that,
Plunger.
Dickey!
Give those aliens. Tell them to go. Fuck them. And kiss those mother fluffers goodbye.
Dickey, I'll see you in another world! A better world!
A better world.
well, you were shoved into this thing, and the door closes, and the switch is thrown, and we fade to black. Except there is another, out of the blackness, ringing noise that sounds almost like that alarm that woke you up every morning. MG. But it's slightly different. And you wake up in your mother's detached garage. And the phone is ringing.
Or my grandmother's.
At your grandmother's. And you just had this really weird dream, apparently. But the phone is ringing.
Hello?
Merlin, this is your Uncle Melvin. I don't have a lot of time to talk on this unsecured line, but I have, on this secured line, but I have 2 agents inbound to Jupiter Springs. Click.
Nice. Now that's great. Okay. And of course, I know who the agents must be. If you'd like to know who the agents are, go back and listen to the Hard Time and Hardgate episodes. All 6 of them.
Yeah, there were quite a few.
Yeah. Yes. And hey, thank you to Zach for coming and joining us on this story arc.
Yes.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. And it was especially fun, I think, for me, like, since you would listen to them, and so you kind of knew some of the story stuff,
Right.
like,
Absolutely.
beforehand. That totally made it
Yes,
more
definitely,
fun.
definitely. And we would love to have you back sometime
Sure.
in the future.
Anytime, yep.
Yes.
All right. Well, with that, I think we will call this a trilogy and move on to something else next time.
Yes, and be careful out there. Don't get too fluffed up.